All right, so let's talk derby cars and really just talk about supporting your habit and helping pay for some of this stuff. I picked up this car. It was in Louisville, Kentucky. I paid $500 for it. Guy was asking seven. Talked to him a little bit. Told him, you keep the title. I don't care about none of that. Let's not make this a bigger hassle. And it has to be cash trailer right here, right now. $500. So he took it. It's got a little bit of a motor issue. I haven't quite worked it out. I think it might have jumped time or may need a timing belt. Worst case, we got a backup plan to trade for like a 97 to 02 motor and transmission. I know a guy who needs a transmission for a driver that's this year. So we're talking about doing some trading if this motor doesn't work out. But besides the point, I just want to talk about kind of being resourceful and looking for a dollar wherever you can find it. This car is a two-door, and they're getting hard to find. And I thought, well, there's got to be somebody out there that's fixing these things up. Well, I get to looking on Facebook. Sure enough, there's a group of guys that are just fixing up these Camrys. And I made a post on there, took pictures of the car, took good pictures of the interior. Said, if anybody's looking for parts, this one is going to be in a derby. So I'm selling all the interior, plastic, glass, all that good stuff. I'm not looking to sell any major body panels or drivetrain things. Well, sure enough, had a guy was willing to pay $700. He was willing to pay $700 for the windshield, the taillights, and the full interior. Unfortunately, we broke the glass getting it out, so that took $125 off of it, which, if my math's right, still leaves $575 for the interior that I was going to have to pay a junkyard to take anyways. So not only are we making money, that puts us $75 a hit on the car, really $25 if you want to count gas and the food that we ate when we went to go get the car. It was about an hour drive. All that being said, though, I would have been paying, $25-30 minimal for a like a dump to take all the interior out of this car. So we're money ahead there. Not to mention, I told him, you coordinate the shipping. I will box this thing up. I'll build a crate for it. Which you can sit here and be like, oh, well, you spent all this money buying the crate. It was scrap wood I had laying around the shop. It wasn't a big of a deal. Guy got me for $30 worth of wood, if you really want to get technical about it. But anyways, he's coordinated the shipping. I said, send a truck to the house. I'll have it boxed up. I'll make sure it gets on the truck. So it's not like I've had the huge hassle of trying to weigh this thing or whatever. Then this car had really good wheels and tires on it, like almost brand new wheels and tires. I sold those tires and the hubcaps for $200. The guy shows up. He says, hey man, are you selling any other parts off the car? Yeah, sure am. He said, would you sell the breather hose off of it? We get rid of the breather hose and do our own little setup there. Yeah, another $20. He bought the little breather box and breather hose. So there's $220 there. $575 for all the interior and taillights. And I've got a guy right now that is driving me crazy wanting to buy the quarter windows and the back glass for $200, and he's willing to pay the $500 in freight that it's going to take to ship it. So all that to say, and also when we do these simplified harnesses, look at all of the wiring plus more. I've already took a little bit out of the car that you can take out of this car. That's all copper wire. Take it straight to the scrapyard, the radiators. And when this car's done and this car's all wadded up and junked, we'll pull our drive line out of it, and this car will still crush out for at least $200 if scrap's low. I didn't get the catalytic converter. That would have been nice. That'd have been another little chunk of money, but really on these, they don't bring all that much anyways. So all that to say, you can make money or you can make excuses. If you're out there looking for it and you just think outside the box a little bit and try to hustle, there's money out there to be made. Now, you might not make any money at it, but you might support the habit. I gave $500 for this car, sold the interior for $575, discount the gas. This is a free car. And then we've already made money on the back glass, assuming that deal goes through, on the back glass and quarter windows and the $200 worth of tires. So this car, before it ever touches the track, has already made me money, which is good because I'm a pretty shit driver and I don't really make a lot of money